Hey guys, welcome to the Casual Duelist channel. Back at it again here. I'm Oz,
And this is Josh.
uh, and we are here today to talk about the final installment of the Spyral cards in Maximum Crisis. It's the final card, it's the trap we talked about, that we're going to talk about, and we're going to talk about right now. Spyral Mission Rescue. Let's go ahead and read it. It's a continuous trap. During this card, destroy this card during your third end phase after activation. Once per turn, you can target one Spiral monster in your graveyard. Return it to the hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a Spiral monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only control one Spiral Mission Rescue. So yeah, what were your first thoughts on this, Josh?
Well, my first thought is that it's probably one of in like 40 card spirals, but if you're playing a 60 card that grass is greener variant, three of this, three of master plan, activate that grass is greener, hope to mill both, and then summon master plan out, and then just plus for days, and then maybe set up the first turn sleeper plus last resort combo, which is really powerful as we talked about in one of our previous videos.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my first thoughts on this card.
Yeah, it was an interesting idea. I hadn't really. I know people have been talking about wanting lawn mowing in the decks, in Spiral decks, and then for the first Sleeper was an exception, but then the next two cards, people were kind of getting the idea that it's like, hey, grass probably won't work. But then we get this card, which is like a throwback to the past couple sets that have missions that banish and do pretty cool things, arguably better effects in the graveyard than on the field. Um, so yeah, I think that's pretty interesting. Uh, so let's go ahead and talk about some of the basic benefits of it. It's a mission, so it is searchable by master plan, like Josh was saying. Cycle sleeper in the graveyard because I don't know if we've talked about this or not, but I've thought about this. The worst part about sleeper is that he's dead once he hits the graveyard. Other than you can recycle him with resort, which is a pretty good other. Like he's still worth playing totally. Um, but now this actually gets him back in your hand instead. It's pretty nice. It isn't a huge deal though because resort shuffles it next turn, just search it. It's not a big deal, but it's still kind of a middleman defeater. Um, if graveyard effects, obviously great for lawn mowing. And also it's trap. You can activate this on your opponent's turn. So once every turn, you're adding a Spiral monster from your graveyard to hand. It's pretty good. It's a really, really good recovery card as well. Um, so those are probably the best parts about it. Also, we were like reading somewhere that people were saying that like some guy like had leaked information, and said that the last card that we talked about yesterday was going to be uh, make Super Agent really good, and then this card was going to make Quick Fix really playable. Which Quick Fix is already really playable. Like if you're not playing Spirals right, if you don't think Quick Fix is one of the best cards in your deck. Um, so I think that's kind of funny. But the thing is, this does help Quick Fix slightly. I'm not gonna condone some guy making up rumors, but it does let you add it back to hand and special summon out of the graveyard. So because once he uses his own effect to special summon himself back out, he gets banished. But I get around that one in my build and a lot of people's builds too. But just like ranking with it. Um, so yeah. Uh, you want to talk about the parts that aren't so good about this card? Your thoughts?
Well, if you're not playing the grass slash lawn mowing variant, then turn one it's pretty terrible
Mm-hmm.
because unless you open like dupe plus quick fix, you're not gonna have anything to graveyard to bring back.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be pretty dead turn one. So you probably only play one of it if you're playing 40 card variant. And also it's not a downside, but you can also dump this card with Foolish Burial Goods, I believe it's called.
Yeah.
So you can like send this or the mission that specials from hand. So you can have like maybe as a one or two of goods. It can give you some options, but I'm unsure yet of how to build using this card.
Yeah. Yeah. We were talking about that earlier. I own a copy of Foolish Burial Goods, and I always thought it was kind of funny when people said you got to play this in Spirals, but because you only had two cards that did it, and Recapture's not that good. Okay, you can play Recapture as one of, but it's not that good. But yeah, now like you have two good cards that have really good effects in the graveyard that are effects that you really need in Spirals, I think. Because I think one of the biggest problems with Spirals is they're so reliant on the normal summon because they crowd up their hand and then they can't do much because Super Agent's the only thing that special summons himself out of his hand. So if you have Assault, banish that, special summon a Tough out, special summon a Quick Fix out, special summon a Master Plan out. Not Misty though, of course not. Um, so yeah, I think full Spyral Goods is actually a real option in 40 card deck. Um, I'm planning on keeping with the 40 card deck version of Spirals. I know Josh has been talking about playing or testing out the lawn mowing online. So we'll definitely keep you posted on that. If you guys are interested in that, let us know. We'll try to do a profile on that or something on Yugi Pro. I think that'd be really fun. Um, but yeah, it's a weird conclusion. If they had more say in what they were gonna do, I would recommend this being the first card you announced because it's the least interesting. I think it's really simple. It's a fine effect, but as a conclusion to Spirals, it's not that impressive.
Yeah, it's not very flashy or exciting. It's just like a really good recursion card, potential play starter. Other than that, it's kind of mundane, I guess.
Yeah, it's just whatever. Like if it would came out in the last set instead of recapture, it wouldn't have changed my opinion. It would have been like, yeah, it's fine, whatever. I think it's worth playing over recapture. I think, but if you're playing like the 60 card long wing deck, I think obviously you're gonna be playing probably 3 both because you need names for sleeper. And they both activate in the graveyard too. Um, so yeah, and also I know we haven't really talked about this in the other videos because I just forget honestly, but obviously, oops, rare. Well, damn. Rarities are not confirmed, but you can usually base it off the color of the text. Yesterday's fully armored has yellow text, so it's most likely going to be an ultra. I don't know what other options it could be. This has white text, so it's probably a rare. I was going to say super. It's probably a rare, but really we don't know. It could just be a white text trap that is a super. I don't know. Could be a secret. Doubt it. This was a secret. I'd be kind of disappointed. Um, so yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. And yeah, yeah, it's just a rare probably. It's a trap. It's decent. It's okay. I don't know. I don't know if there's any much else to talk about for this. Keep note if since this is actually topical, that apparently Hidden Armory has just got bought out. Probably thanks to our video yesterday talking about how decent the equip card was, fully armored or fully armed. Yeah. So yeah, and apparently it's gonna be an ultra. Don't pay a lot for that card because Misty's also an ultra and she's like 80 cents. So yeah. What are your thoughts on Spirals in general since this is the last card?
I think they have potential. I think we just need to figure out the best builds. I think if the lawn mowing build like is really consistent and good, probably have to play Lifetime Offering. Who knows how good that would be? But I think there's several ways you can build Spirals, so I don't think the best Spiral build is obvious, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's what I like about Spirals is there's a lot of ways you can play them that aren't bad. Even right now, there's Synchro Spirals, there's XC Spirals. I mean, like, rank 4 or rank 1 toolboxes, which is more similar to my deck. There's Synchros because they special summon a lot of different levels. There's just straight up, like, super... I mean, like, after these cards come out, it's going to be straight up just beat down decks, which are kind of cool. But yeah, it's really interesting that this is weird archetype that the TCG's been given. Konami, I liked what Konami did with both of the decks. We haven't really talked about Subterrace on this profile, but Josh does play Subterrace. He'll be getting new cards. We're definitely going to profile after it comes out. But I would like to do a video just discussing what we think on those two. So we'll probably do after all the cards come out. We'll just do a discussion on all the TCG exclusive cards for the past 4 sets. But yeah, we're about out of time for this video. So tell us what you think of Spyral Mission Rescue. How many you would play? We both think this can probably be a 1-of. I think it's still definitely playing a 1-of in a 40 card deck. Are you going to play Lawn Mowing? Have you thought about Lawn Mowing? What other cards would you play in it? We were trying to fill up the deck. Would you play things like Machine Dupe and Card Trooper? Yeah. Would you play things like that? Let us know. I think it'd be really interesting. And if you're really interested in how Josh will build his deck online, let us know. We'll definitely profile it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing if you haven't already. Really appreciate it. But, if you don't want to, then fine. That's whatever. I really don't care that much. So, yeah. See you guys later, guys.